Welcome back for another video. What's the best possible FPL team? We're going to try and answer that today, but the question is, how do we even answer that? There's an infinite combination of players you could have to build a team, and obviously paths you can follow throughout a season. FPL optimization is a subject that I've always found quite interesting. Using projected points and an optimizer tool, we can throw the data in and then calculate the optimal team. It's a really interesting topic, and it's a very different team today from what I've seen. We did the same exercise last season actually, and that team started very well. To optimise well, we do need quality data, so for this we've used Mikhail Tokvam's projected points, link below to check it out. I've been a patron of his for a couple of years. And I've used Sertab Bilal's optimizer, comfortably the most powerful one in the space, and he's well worth a follow on Twitter. This will be a two-part series. We're also going to calculate the optimal team using FPL Review's projections when they release later this month, and then we'll compare the two teams. So make sure you subscribe, there's more great content like this to come on the channel. So in goal, the Salvas picked Anana. He's only just been revealed at 5 mil, and he's just past 10% ownership already. Certainly there's lots you can do with the 0.5 mil over Shaw, and the Salva has backed the goalkeeper over Shaw. Man United's last pre-season match was actually a 2-0 win against Arsenal, though Heaton started in goal for that one. Nonetheless, a very impressive result, keeping a clean sheet. The defence is one I've not seen anywhere. This one's a really interesting back three. It's Trippier, Gabriel and Zinchenko. So to reiterate, the Salva's not subject to any biases or opinions. In fact, over the opening 7 game weeks, Tokvam's data actually projects Trippier to score higher than Trent. The Salva has Trippier on the bench for game week 2 and 3, in favour of a player who is on the bench in game week 1, more on that later. You could argue that benching Trippier for 2 game weeks is a waste of money, but the Salva has projected doing so to score the most possible points, so are we completely overlooking Trippier? Double Arsenal defence is also very unique. Given the long list of good options in midfield, it is perhaps something we're overlooking as well. It's all about the points per mil, and the Gabriel plus Zinchenko duo could maximise that based on projections anyway. I prefer these two to White. He saved 0.5 mil and they are more secure for minutes. White has Tomiyasu and Timber potentially competing for the same positions. So let's have a look at the midfield, and the Salva's chosen Mbeumo, Sterling, Mitoma, Fernandes and Rashford. Mbeumo sits in about a quarter of all teams at the moment, and we have talked about him in past videos. He's got 6 goals and 3 assists in the 10 games that Tony didn't feature over the last 2 seasons, and being reclassified as a midfielder is good. Spurs in game week 1 is actually a great fixture in my opinion. It's early days, but Spurs have looked vulnerable defensively in pre-season, but dangerous in attack. Postecoglou's still working out his favoured back 4. It could be Udogie, Reguilon or even Davies in left back. In the most recent game it was Udogie, and then Davies played left centre back. Him and Reguilon do offer less defensively, which could be a weakness, with Porro also an offensive player on the opposite flank. So Sterling's the one that leaps out in midfield. Mikhail Tokvam uses a metric called BCV, or Budget Constrained Value, which is essentially just a ranking of all the players, and you want to maximise BCV. So Sterling has the highest BCV rating of all players in the game. In FPL it's easy to get tricked into following the template and seeing it's better than anything else. And it doesn't have Sterling, and it doesn't have Trippier, and it doesn't have double Arsenal defence. So a few really good questions raised here, food for thought if nothing else. Chelsea's fixtures are unbelievable, which we all know, so having Sterling, or maybe Nkunku, is definitely an option many of us are overlooking. When you look at Sterling's FPL history, he's a potential game breaker in the making if he does get back to his best. Over 200 points on 3 occasions in his career, but at 7 mil, even 170 points would be a great return over the season. So the Salva has Mitoma 4 points ahead of March over the opening 7 game weeks. Not significant, but a clear favourite there. Mitoma was impressive in Brighton's last pre-season match. It was a 4-3 loss to Chelsea, but he got an assist, and March did have a very quiet game. Bruno was on the score sheet against Arsenal. We'll talk more in depth about that match in the next pre-season update video, so make sure you subscribe for that. We discussed what impact Mount signing could have. My guess was that Mount would be the deeper of the two, and that was at least what we saw against Arsenal. Bruno creating more key passes, a more advanced average position, and he did score. So in terms of projected points over the opening 7 game weeks across all players, Haaland's top with 55, Salah's second with 50, and it's Rashford third with 44, Bruno's fourth with 42.5. So it's clear how much value there is in Bruno and Rashford considering the price difference. So I agree with the double up completely, and my current team has them both as well. Notably, there's no Arsenal mids, which really surprised me. However, the front 2 has Jesus, and of course Haaland capped him. Can double Arsenal defence and Jesus make up for no mids? Perhaps. It's a very strong team for game week 1, with all but Haaland playing at home as well. The bench is important with this team. It's Hennessy, Porro, James and Surridge, so there's some strong bench depth. In Game Week 2 and Game Week 3, James comes on for Trippier, and then when Arsenal faced Man United in Game Week 4, the Solver suggested selling Zinchenko or Gabriel for Cheryl Botman and then start Porro. James obviously has a reputation for injury, so you can replace him with Chilwell optionally. Chilwell has looked very advanced in pre-season so far. Hennessy is unlikely to get any minutes. Forest are being linked with a new keeper, but none of the 4 mil keepers look likely currently. Areola did start West Ham's last game, the first of his pre-season, though he did let in a goal where he should have done much better. Surridge is also unlikely to be involved, but I wanted to also highlight Mubama from West Ham. 4 goals in 4 pre-season games, 4 Man of the Match awards, very talented 18-year-old. Same age as Ferguson actually, and he actually has a slightly better goal scoring record than Ferguson in the Premier League too. He'll be down the pecking order no doubt, but one to consider if you need a 4.5 mil forward. Whether you agree with this team or not, it definitely poses some new questions. Are we overlooking Trippier, double Arsenal defence and Sterling? Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, there's more FPL content like this to come. See you soon for the next one.